to a story I did quite a bit of research on. This is a story that is bigger than the very small city that it comes out of. The small city is DeSoto, Texas, just south of where we broadcast from here in Dallas. I believe there is a concerted effort of liberal people in positions of power to ensure that conservatives do not win their elections, even at the most local level. Well, there is a runoff election between two city council candidates. One is a Democrat, another is a Republican. Apparently, they are trying to kick Everett Jackson, the Republican, off of the runoff ballot, even though he got the most votes in the first time around, just not enough to secure the election outright, saying that because he was convicted of a felony back when he was 17 years old, he's ineligible. The only problem is he checked the box for the first election. It isn't fair. Guy's turned his life around from what happened that day. I did some research on that crime, and I stand with Everett Jackson here. The city should have noticed this if they had a problem early on, not now when he's poised to take the seat away from a Democrat. With that, I want to bring in Everett Jackson, the candidate for city council in DeSoto, Texas. Everett, welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, did I sum that up right? You had checked this box. Yes, I had been convicted of a felony. No questions asked. You go through the first round, and then what happens?
Yes, sir. You summed it up perfectly, actually. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I turned in all of the documentation that was necessary, and they approved it, and they actually wished me good luck and happy campaigning. Once they saw a conservative on the verge of winning because I received more votes than any other candidate in the general election, then they came with all type of tricks of trying to get me off of the ballot.
All right, so when they say good luck, they see you're a black man in probably a majority black city in the Dallas area. They thought you were one of them, I guess. Everett, you probably thought you were a liberal.
Indeed, you would be correct to assume such.
All right, so it seems to me... It seems to me the crime you committed is being black and a conservative now, Everett.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
You will be correct. You will be correct. As long as they thought I was a liberal, it was okay. Once it was known that I was conservative, all the problems began.
All right. I want to ask you about when you were 17 years old. You're 50 years old now, and you have the support of a very good friend of mine, Lieutenant Colonel Alan West. He's the one who emailed me about this. He said this is a raw deal. I asked very poignant questions. You know, I don't want you pointing a gun into some pregnant lady's belly or something, and I'm going to support this. You made a mistake. Can you give me briefly what the mistake was and how maybe this has helped you realize where you should go in the future?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And thank God for reformation and change. When I was 17 years old, I was with two other schoolmates. And one of the schoolmates had a firearm on him, and I had one as well. But the schoolmate that I was with, that I chose to be a follower behind, had stuck a pistol in a gentleman's face and tried to take his vehicle. After he took the man's vehicle, I jumped in the vehicle with him. Being that he didn't know how to drive a stick or a manual, we both abandoned the vehicle. So it was a situation of me being complicit because I was with him. And I take all responsibility for that. But since then, 33 years ago, I have been and such a great American. I have fought for my community. I'm active in my community. I am a serial business entrepreneur. I'm a college graduate. I'm a proud father. I have done everything possible to make amends for what happened when I was 17 years old. And to be quite frankly with you, it taught me of how much of an opportunity we have in America to be whatever we want, and we shouldn't take it for granted. So I am very apologetic for what happened in 1992, but that child that did that is no longer here. I am now a 50-year-old man, and I am a great citizen, and I love my country.
Well, when I heard this story, I thought, wow, this could be such an inspiration to other youngsters of all colors of what you can do to turn your life around. And then, quite frankly, just for the reason of politics, it looks to me like you've got leftists who want to stop you in your tracks simply because they don't agree with you. That's the complete opposite of the lessons you took away when you were 17 years old. And quite frankly, it's un-American, Everett. I'll give you the last word on that.
And yes, and I thank you for acknowledging that. This is a simple case of radical liberals not wanting to give up their seat to a conservative. The people of DeSoto have spoken. Of all, and I mean all, there were 11 city council candidates. Of all 11 candidates, I received the most total votes. So the city has spoken, the citizens have spoken. Now, our radical liberal leaders are trying to forego what the citizens want because they don't want a conservative in that seat.
And the reason I profile this is because I believe this probably happens in cities across the country. The details of the story may change, but they're trying to block conservative candidates, especially people of color who happen to be conservative, because that population is growing like wildfire across the country, thanks to President Trump and everything he's been doing. So we wish you luck. I know, real quick, today was a filing deadline and wanted to get some papers. What did you end up doing? You end up trying to get a stay on this?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Actually, our future Congressman Sheldon Daniels, who is also my attorney, has filed a temporary restraining order against the city of DeSoto, so the city of DeSoto cannot make any moves on removing me from the ballot. So thank you, Sheldon Daniels.
All right, sounds good. Everett Jackson, please keep us posted on this. Real quick, give people your website where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me at jacksonfordcouncil.godaddysite.com. And on there, I have an interactive aspect to where you can click on the button and you can actually talk to me directly. So go to jacksonfordcouncil.godaddysite.com.
All right, sounds good. And maybe once you get in, we'll get you a real site with a real name. And, just a quick note. The fact that they didn't know how to drive the stick shift tells you everything you need to know. My Jeep, by the way, is a standard, and I tell people that's my anti-theft device because kids don't know how to drive it either. I love the stories of change, hope, and I hope he wins. I really do, and show the city, teach the city a lesson. Don't try to get the outcomes where you want them to be just because you disagree with someone's politics. All right, our body language segment.